There's a certain kind of person who lives in a strange, quiet world of their own making. They are the ones who smile through every conversation, regardless of what they are actually feeling. They are the first to reach out when they see someone in trouble or in need of help. They seem incapable of anger, never raising their voice and never complaining about their lot. The world looks at them and offers nothing but praise for their kindness and bottomless patience. But if you are that person, you know a truth that is far less beautiful than the image you project. You come home after a long day and feel an emptiness so heavy it is almost physical. This is not just common exhaustion, it is the soul-crushing fatigue of a performance. It is the weariness of an actor who has been on stage for too long in a role they never chose. You close the door, and suddenly the mask of the good person feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. You look in the mirror and see a face so tired and distant that you barely recognize yourself. You wonder why you do everything for everyone, yet feel so withered and hollow on the inside. You wonder why your kindness doesn't bring you happiness, but instead brings only a relentless burnout. The truth is, that mask of constant goodness is not a virtue, it is a psychological trap. It is a cage that is slowly suffocating your life force and your true identity. To understand why you became someone who cannot say no, we must look at your past. Most of us grew up in environments where rebellion or disagreement was synonymous with danger. You learned very quickly that to be safe, you had to be invisible and agreeable. To be loved, you had to cut yourself into pieces that fit other people's expectations. You became a master at reading the room, listening for footsteps to predict the emotional weather. You used the scissors of fear to snip away your anger because it was labeled as bad. You cut out your personal desires because you were told they were selfish or wrong. You threw all those jagged pieces into a dark basement in the back of your mind. You called it maturity, but in reality it was the beginning of a slow identity suicide. Those rejected parts of your soul did not disappear. They began to rot in the dark. They created a massive internal pressure that you now spend all your energy trying to contain. Every day you waste your vitality just making sure that basement door doesn't fly open. This is why you are exhausted even when you haven't done anything physically demanding. You aren't living your life, you are managing an elaborate defense system. Your kindness is no longer a free choice, it is a survival tactic to avoid rejection. You have become a saint born out of terror rather than out of genuine love. You are a prisoner of your own niceness, locked in a room with no windows. The clearest sign of this internal suppression is how you judge the world around you. Think of someone you absolutely despise on social media right this very second. Perhaps someone who seems too confident, too loud, or too unapologetically themselves. Why does their existence irritate you to the point of physical discomfort? Why do you feel a surge of fury toward a stranger who has never actually harmed you? The answer is painful. Deep down, you don't actually hate them for their flaws. You hate the freedom they have, the freedom that you denied yourself years ago. Seeing them live out their desires is like rubbing salt into the wound of your own cowardice. Your mind judges them to soothe the ego that is wounded by its own self-imprisonment. You call them fake just to feel a little more real in your cage of politeness. What you hate most in others is usually what you are forbidden from expressing in yourself. Your moral outrage is actually a secret confession that you are starving for authenticity. You are craving the very thing you claim to despise simply because you are forbidden from having it. When you point a finger at someone else's ego, your own shadow is staring back at you. You are using judgment as a shield to hide your own envy and resentment. And that shield is making your heart brittle, dry, and increasingly isolated. There is a harsh reality that nice people often hide from themselves and the world. It is the fact that their kindness is frequently a sophisticated form of manipulation. When you never say no, you are secretly placing everyone around you in a state of debt. You are always the martyr, always the one who sacrifices, but you do it for a price. Deep down, you are buying validation and purchasing a sense of psychological safety. You aren't truly giving, you are making a long-term investment in your own security. And when others don't pay you back with the gratitude you expect, you begin to resent them. This bitterness leaks out through heavy sighs and passive-aggressive silences. It manifests as a mental tally of all the things you have done for people who don't care. Kindness without the capacity for aggression is just weakness wearing a halo. You are good because you lack the claws to be anything else, not because you chose it. A truly good person is someone who is capable of harm but chooses to be gentle. You are a sheep trying to convince yourself you're a saint to avoid facing your helplessness. When goodness is built on fear, it doesn't create connection, it only creates pretense. You are building your relationships on a false contract that neither side can fulfill. This is why you feel lonely even when you are surrounded by people you are helping. The solution is not to become a cruel, heartless, or intentionally mean person. The solution is to learn how to be whole rather than just trying to be good. Wholeness means accepting the ugly parts of yourself that you have hidden away. It means admitting that you feel envy, that you feel anger, and that you can be selfish. When you name your darkness, it loses its power to control you from the shadows. You need to reclaim your claws from that basement to protect your own boundaries. These claws are not meant for attacking others, they are meant for saying no. Only when you have the power to say no does your yes finally carry real weight. It is time to take off the plastic angel costume that has become too tight to breathe in. Allow yourself to be a real human being, one with light, darkness, and many mistakes. The world doesn't need more polite machines, it needs souls that are truly alive. Turn off your screen and look at your reflection in the dark glass for a moment. Don't look with your usual judgment. Look with curiosity and a bit of compassion. Welcome the abandoned parts of yourself back home, for they are the source of your strength. If you felt a shift in your heart while hearing this, leave a comment with the word authentic. Start living your own life today, not the one you think you owe to the rest of the world.